This is Pierre Poilievre, and if an election was held today, based on current polling, he would be Canada's Prime Minister. Practically every single polling model shows the Conservatives within the range of 200 seats, and even with the incoming redistribution raising the number of seats to 343 and altering the requirement for a majority to 172 seats, Pierre is still well beyond this marker as of right now. But the fact is, polls do change. At one moment before the 2021 election, it looked like the Liberals were headed for a majority with the CPC and NDP close in vote share. However, in that campaign, there was later a period in which it looked like there was a possibility of a Conservative minority government. However, things evened out, and Trudeau won a minority government, and a few months later signed a deal with the NDP to make sure he had a stable government in this parliamentary term. Imagine this result on the screen. Here, we see a Conservative minority government. This doesn't seem that unusual. Stephen Harper governed under two minorities before winning his majority in 2011. Both of Harper's minorities lasted under 3 years. But the fact is, he had the necessary backing for 4.5 years to run a minority. But even he just about got removed as Prime Minister. In 2008, there was a deal signed between the Liberals, NDP, and Bloc to oust Harper. Harper instead prorogued Parliament and reworked his budget to earn Liberal support so he could continue as PM. This is precisely the scenario Pierre must avoid. Pierre Poilievre and Justin Trudeau are both uniquely polarizing candidates. Trudeau is quite unpopular, and Pierre is also quite unpopular outside of his base. Let's just say that neither are very willing to work with each other. So there isn't a possibility that one would give the other votes required to continue with a mandate. Justin Trudeau can function in a minority government, as he has the NDP, who share many priorities that will supply him, or even the occasional support from the Bloc. The CPC has no natural ally in Parliament. By way of the Westminster tradition, the incumbent Prime Minister is always asked if he or she would like to form a government after an election. If they have no shot at doing this, the Prime Minister will usually decline, and the party with the most seats gets the next crack at it. But if Pierre only won a minority, Trudeau could try to remain and do a throne speech, where he relied on NDP support, and despite the Conservatives being the largest party, Trudeau would be Prime Minister. So there we have it, Trudeau being Prime Minister without having the largest party. I could just end this video here, but one obstacle stands in Trudeau's total plan, the Bloc Québécois. The Bloc, if they are in a position to alter things, could be the kingmakers in this situation. The Bloc have been quite iffy under Justin Trudeau and the leadership of Yves-François Blanchet. They have voted against the Liberals multiple times, including on motions with confidence attached, like the Emergencies Act extension, but they have also voted against many Conservative motions, notably the carbon tax votes. In a scenario in which the Bloc Québécois had a position of power, who they choose to side with would matter a lot. I couldn't see them supporting the Conservatives for a full 4-year mandate, but they could position themselves to get some concessions out of the Parliament to prop up a Pierre government temporarily. This would be either by voting confidence on the throne speech or not voting, assuming both of these push the Conservatives over the finish line. But the title of the video suggests that Pierre needs a majority, and I haven't abandoned this yet. Historically, the Bloc has usually been the anti-government party, tending to vote against the government at the time, and despite a recent progressive shift, the Bloc still routinely votes against Liberal motions in Parliament, as I've just said. Being Prime Minister is one thing, but doing things is another. Without a majority, the Conservatives can't enact many key policies, again, like the axing of the carbon tax. Some of Pierre's housing policies may pass if he can work with other parties, but nothing strictly ideological could pass. So Pierre still needs a majority to achieve many of his campaign promises. The case of him becoming Prime Minister is still best for his party overall, as they could do whatever they could to gain public trust with a Conservative cabinet running the country. Plus, being Prime Minister comes with powerful executive powers, like appointing judges, the Senate, scheduling of elections, and control of Parliament. In conclusion, we can see two possibilities with the CPC plurality. Either the Liberals remain in office with a more formal coalition deal, like what just about happened in 2008, or Pierre serves a short term as Prime Minister where he can't do anything very ideological or controversial. What do you think? Will Pierre Poilievre win a majority? What happens if he does? Let me know in the comments down below, but I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you guys did, please consider leaving a like and subscribing, as that helps me out a lot. But apart from that, have a good rest of your day, and see you